The news is good. The news is spectacular, folks. We're in the semifinals of the Club World Cup against Pyramids from Egypt. We're going to play the final, God willing, against Paris Saint-Germain. And Pedro is back. Pedro trained. My friends, Pedro is on the field. That's fantastic news. I'm so happy. I won't even mention the sponsor. It'll be there. In the pinned comment, I'll let you know if you want to see Mengão in the Club World Cup. There's still time. You can still make it. You have to hurry to get tickets for the final, but not Flamengo. They're going to make it, guys. They're going to make it. God willing, they're going to make it. And you can follow Pedro coming back, God willing, in the final. Look, here's Haroldo's Caravan WhatsApp so you can make sure you're there. Man, can you still go to Dora? Let's go support Mengão. Pedro's coming back. Let's support Mengão. There were few fans there. It's time for us to make an effort and go there, be world champions, world champions. Let's follow the training sessions. Our team reporting straight from Dora. Pedro training. Guys, let's go.
Look at that, Pedro Guilherme putting on his cleats, huh? The top scorer, Reverencia Pedro, is heading to the field in Thursday's training session, putting on his cleats. Next to Dr. Fernando Sasaki, who is in charge of the medical department of Flamengo's professional soccer team. Pedro Guilherme is putting on his cleats to come out to the field and start the activity under the watchful eyes of Coach Felipe Luis. Look, there's Pedro running with the group, huh? He's going to pass right by here. The forward Pedro Guilherme. The Flamengo squad running together with Pedro. It's clearly a recovery session with the reserves. Look, there's Pedro. Pedro Guilherme, good afternoon Danilo. Good afternoon up close. Pedro Guilherme running with the group. Look at that. Flamengo players here, already arriving for Thursday's training, already on the field, there. Look, Michael, Luis Araujo, Everton, Cebolinha, and Juninho. Just a reminder, as usual, right? As it happens in all Flamengo games, today will be a day where the athletes who played more than 45 minutes against Cruz Azul will only do a recovery session here at the Al Hersal Training Center gym in Doha, Qatar. So we'll have access to the first 10 to 15 minutes of training, which is mostly just the warm-up session. Of the players who weren't starters against Cruz Azul in Mexico, there's another player arriving now, that's Wallace. Jan. He's still without his cleats, he's going to put them on now. Putting on his cleats, looks like it's Saul, Ayrton Lucas, and Coach Felipe Luis. Over there are the Mengão players at the Al Hersal Training Center. Rodrigo Caio is waving to Diego Alves, who's here as a commentator for Case Television. And there's Rodrigo Caio saying hello to Diego Alves, a Mengão idol. There's Rodrigo, Luis Araujo taking a shot over there, right at the start of this warm-up activity, playing a little keep-up, a little game. Luis Araujo, Ayrton Lucas, Michael and Wallace Jan, the players in a relaxed mood, the champions of the Derby of the Americas, Club de Regatas do Flamengo, who will face the Pyramids team from Egypt next Saturday. In the Challenger Cup, Pyramids, who won the Asia-Africa-Oceania Cup, even defeated Awali from Saudi Arabia, the team of attacking midfielder Matheus Gonçalves. So Flamengo will play in the Challenger Cup on Saturday against Pyramids from Egypt. Flamengo players had the morning off, right? Here it's 4 post-meridium Qatar time, Doha time, and the players were able to go out for a walk. We saw that Leo Pereira went out with Carolina and went to a place here, to a typical market here in Doha, one of the main tourist spots in the city. And just like them, the other players also had the morning off. Coach Felipe Luis stands by the goal post observing. The Mengão players chat, they're right here. Doing a recreational activity here during this warm-up. Luis Araujo and Ayrton Lucas, that's the Nevo duo. Look, Emerson Royal, then Michael Sal, Niguez, Wallace, Fian, Cebolinha, Juninho. Goalkeeper Diogo Alves, who became the only backup option for the red-black goal. Remember that Flamengo released goalkeeper Mateus Cunha for the birth of his daughter, so Mateus Cunha is already saying goodbye to Flamengo. He, who has a pre-contract with Cruzeiro, has returned to Brazil and won't wear Clube de Regatas do Flamengo's jersey again. The Flamengo players are still there, carrying out this first activity here on the field. Look, Juninho and Michael, even though he's more... Look, Michael tried to chip the ball over Juninho, but Juninho said not here. And look, we have to highlight how great this field is. Let me zoom out a little. It's nice because we also get a bit of the sunset here. In Doha, Qatar, this field here is like a completely spectacular carpet. Just like the field at Armado Bin Stadium, where the Intercontinental Club Cup games are being played. Flamengo is using this facility here at our Sol Training Center. And at least here, the grass on both of the adjacent fields is in spectacular condition. Remember, this is the official training center for the Intercontinental Cup. Flamengo trained here before the match against Cruz Azul. Cruz Azul trained here. Pyramids from Egypt will train here, and Paris Saint-Germain will also train here. So there is no other training center option for this competition here. All the teams in the Intercontinental Cup are training here. Especially because there are two competitions happening right now in Qatar. The Intercontinental Club Cup and the Arab National Teams Cup. So Doha is hosting two major competitions. All the other training centers are being used there by the teams in the Arab Cup. There's Egypt, there's Morocco, which by the way will face the Brazilian national team in the World Cup, and there's also Qatar itself, right? And the host has several other teams, with Saudi Arabia also competing in the Arab Cup. So with that, all the clubs in the Intercontinental are using the facilities here at the training center. Look, that's Rossi back there. Goalkeeper Agostinho Rossi just arrived. He's talking with Diogo Alves, Flamengo's other goalkeeper, until the Intercontinental Cup ends. Look, there's Pedro Guilherme doing activities here at training center Oursal. The red-black striker Pedro is the main new thing here. Look, he's training with the group. Pedro is doing the same activities as the rest of the Flamengo squad. It could be that later on he also does some separate work. However, at this moment, Pedro Guilherme is training together with the whole squad. From Flamengo to here, we see more players coming here, more players, all doing the same activity. So at this moment, Pedro is training with the Flamengo squad. There is a possibility, we have to check later with the people here at Pedro's club, for him to do separate work, either with the physical preparation staff or with the physiology team. But what matters is right now. Pedro Guilherme is training with the group, the Flamengo squad here, doing activities in the center of the field. And Pedro is there. Look, he's the only player wearing the vest. I'm not sure if that means anything. I think he's just a player. A joker in this activity. It's an activity that's basically divided between two groups of teams. I think Pedro is a joker who participates in both teams, if I'm not mistaken. But hey, it's really cool to see Pedro training there with the whole squad. Relax, Luis Araujo. It's only practice. It's really cool to see Pedro training there with the whole Flamengo squad. And now there's the expectation, right, about the striker. The number 9 might still play this year, either against Pyramids from Egypt or against Paris Saint-Germain, if Flamengo makes it to the Intercontinental Cup final. It's great to see Pedro training with the group. Look, De La Cruz is over there too. Just a reminder, this activity is only for players who played less than 45 minutes against Cruz Azul or didn't play at all. Right, the starters, right? The guys who played more in yesterday's match are at the training center Academy Oursal here in Doha, Qatar, doing recovery work. Flamengo is training during a beautiful sunset. I managed to capture some of the beauty here, right? There's already a cloud here that looks like it's going to rain. The goalkeepers, the two goalkeepers from Mengão in this competition, Diogo Alves, who went from third goalkeeper to backup goalkeeper, and over here goalkeeper Agostinho Rossi. The red and black wall. Remember that Flamengo released goalkeeper Matheus Cunha to return to Rio de Janeiro because he's going to be a father. With that, Matheus Cunha officially says goodbye to Flamengo. He already has a pre-contract signed with Cruzeiro, and Diogo Alves ends up getting the spot and becomes Rossi's immediate backup, at least in this final stretch of the season. And Pedro is still around, taking part in the activity as usual. Look at Coach Felipe Luis. Where's Coach Felipe Luis? Is he there? Somewhere we see Rodrigo Caio here. Oh no, this is Felipe. Oh, right, I wasn't sure it was him, but yes, it was Felipe Luis. We're far away and the zoom is high, but Professor Felipe Luis is there watching Pedro Guilherme up close.